Hi, ladies. It's Keri. We are back for another episode of Style Your Dreams. I am more than thrilled that you are here with me for this amazing episode. So I want to have a conversation with you today about why this one particular thing is essential to you thriving in life. Now, there's a lot of things that we could say that are essential to you thriving in life, right? Like water, exercise. There are lots of things that are essential to you thriving. But this one in particular, maybe those things aren't essential to you thriving. They're essential to you living. This one particular thing is really essential to thriving. So beyond just living. And when I look around, I see a bunch of people living. I see a bunch of women living. I don't see a bunch of women thriving. So that's really what I want to talk about today is what is this key element, this one essential thing that can take you from living to thriving? Because that's really what we want. I assume that's why you're here. I assume that's why we talk every week is that you want to thrive. You don't want to just get by. You don't want to just live your life, but you actually want to live a life that defies the predictable, right? My favorite part of the Wicked movie out right now, which if you haven't seen, it's worth seeing. I loved it so much. But my favorite part is when she sings the song Defying Gravity, because that's what I'm about. I want to defy what others think is possible. I want to defy gravity. I want to live a life that's extraordinary. And again, I'm assuming that you're on board with that, and that's why you're here. If you're not, if you're into an ordinary life and you stumbled upon this is your wake-up call that it's time for you to be extraordinary, or this is your time to press delete. Either way is completely fine with me. But this podcast is about living an extraordinary, exceptional life, defying gravity. So what is this one key, essential thing that you need to thrive every day? I believe the answer to this is self-care. And when I'm talking about self-care, I'm using capital S, capital E, capital L, capital F. Not little self-care, capitals. Self, big self is who I'm speaking to. Your big version of you. See, little self doesn't need as much care, right? She can survive on the minimal amount of oxygen and water. She's a badass like that, right? But for you to be the biggest version of yourself and to truly thrive in life, you need to care for the big self. And that's why I call it the big self-care. So what does that even mean? Well, if you're getting by in life, you're going to make sure you, drink enough water. You're going to make sure you take care of your family. You do your obligations. You run your errands. You do all of the things that are necessary. And from time to time, you go get a massage, maybe, right? So when we talk a lot about self-care in the world, which I'm a huge advocate of self-care, there's different levels though. There's doing the minimum, and then there's caring for the big S self, or the big ass self. So what do I even mean by that? Well, there's this bigness of who you are and who you're here to be. And that woman wants to thrive in this lifetime. She has a lot she wants to accomplish. She has a lot she wants to give the world. She has a lot of this inner knowing, inner wisdom. There's like this whisper in her ear. Whether you are taking advantage of that or not, you hear it. And sometimes we avoid it, but it gets loud enough at some point to stop avoiding it and start listening. So how do you care for that big self? Well, I think it goes way beyond what you read in magazines, way beyond self-care of like going for a walk in nature. And I do believe that's important too. And that is a way to nurture the big self. But I think the most important thing is to care for the big self is to stop and check in. That's not something a lot of people do day in and day out. So whether it's meditation, whether it be a gentle moment of breathing with yourself, check in and say, what do you need today? What do you need from me today? And listen, it's going to be different every day. Some days you need a salt bath. Some days you need to journal a lot. Some days you need to meditate. Some days you need time with your crystals. Some days you need to turn your phone off and unplug from the world. Some days you need to binge Netflix. I don't know what it is. And some days you need it all, right? So compounding self-care gives you back it in huge, massive amounts. I don't know what the word I was looking for was, massive amounts. So yes, you need to take care of self on the level of like basic drinking water, getting exercise, breathing, normal things, which I'm still surprised today that how many women don't do. They get too busy. They have the pressures of life, their family pressures and their work pressures and the pressures they put on themselves. And it's so easy to neglect ourselves and go into autopilot and just get by in life. And that is not thriving. Let's just be really clear. And a lot of people that are listening to this podcast, you want to thrive in life. You want to be the best version of yourself. So in order for that to happen, you have to slow things down for a moment and ask yourself, what would it take for me to thrive today? I'm feeling a little worn down today. So maybe in order to be my best, I need to meditate for 20 minutes. Or in order for me to be my best, I'm going to take 10 minutes between meetings and breathe and do some breath work. In order for me to be my best, I'm going to do some tapping techniques. In order for me to be my best, I'm going to laugh, connect with my best friend and laugh my butt off. I don't know what it is for you. And from day to day, it's going to be completely different. But it's so very important not to just scratch the surface and meet your basic needs, but look to see what it'll take for you to thrive. And I think part of thriving is living in a high vibrational state, right? Because living on autopilot, it doesn't take any energy. Mostly you're in a neutral at best vibration state, sometimes in a low vibration state, sometimes neutral. But this thriving takes a high vibration state. And when I'm living in a high vibration state, I'm checking in with my big self and saying, what do you need today? Because what's automatic for me is not usually what it's going to take me to thrive. See, what's automatic for me, oh my gosh, what's automatic for me is to pressure myself to work harder, to make more money, to excel, to be the best, all of those things. But at this season in my life, which I've talked to you about on different episodes and different reels, because we go through different seasons, at this season, that's not what it's going to take for me to thrive. At this season, it's about slowing down and listening and being the best me, the best self, the most high vibration I can be in every moment. Because what I found in this season is that's what others around me want from me. They want me to shine so they can shine. They want me to live high vibe so they can raise to my vibration. They want me to be available so that they can be their best selves. And when I'm grinding and when I'm spent emotionally, physically, mentally, I can't be that for the people in my life. And I don't know, I think as women, we just are at a different vibration and we're expected to live and operate at this higher vibration, and we can give more when we do. And I know that we really want to give more, and that's why we burn ourselves out. And sometimes this whole notion of self-care makes you think of you're being selfish. You are taking time away from your family. Oh my gosh. And if you have young children, I get it. I remember those days when Stella was little and I felt guilty. I was running a business, being a great wife, helping him with his business, and not physically helping him with his business, but like supporting him grow his business and raising a baby. I know it's challenging, but even in those moments, it's so imperative that you take time to do your big self-care. And the more that you do, oh my gosh, this is such a deep, long conversation. There's so much just coming up for me while I'm talking. But the more that you take care of yourself, the more magic starts to happen, the more love you feel. See, that's another thing a lot of women don't experience is truly loving themselves. I mean, just stop for a moment and ask yourself this question and be really honest because no one's listening, just you, between you and you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love yourself right now? Like, really, check in. How much do you feel loved by yourself? Like, if you were to look in the mirror and look in your own eyeballs and say, I love you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe what you just said? So the amount of love that you have for yourself is also reflective of the amount of self-care you give to your big S self. See, the more I nurture myself and I don't know, some people call it pamper yourself or take care of yourself, your big S self, the deeper that I work on myself, the more I love myself. The love gets profound and it grows exponentially. So everything I do for myself is a way of telling myself, hey, I love you. You come first to me. And when that starts to happen, your love starts to get more powerful and grow. And others, then you're a demonstration for everyone around you of how to love themselves, which, I have a 12-and-a-half-year-old girl. I take it as my responsibility on this planet that I brought her into this world. I need to teach her what it is to have confidence and love herself and ask for what she needs and ask for what she wants and be the best version of herself. So in order to do that, I have to be that. I can't just give it lip service and go through life saying it's so important to love yourself and then trash talk myself. No, I have to do it. I have to love myself. And this goes so deep. We could talk about loving your body, which I have this unbelievable course on how to love your body, like actually be in love with your body, which is profound. But These little acts every day of self-care, checking in with yourself and taking care of yourself, they compound into this great love affair that you have with yourself. It raises your vibration and you're more available for everyone around you in a bigger way. And you will begin to start defying gravity, if I can use that again. So different things that you can do for self-care, because people always want to talk about that. I mean, I do so many different things and I'm constantly learning new things about what I could do. So I'm going to just share with you some things I do, and different things on different days and some things I do every single day, and look to see if there's something you want to take on newly. I mean, I could do an entire course on self-care and how to love yourself, which I just might. Let me know in the comments if you want that, and I'll do that. But things that I do every day is I wake up early and spend some time with myself and God, and coming from gratitude and meditate. I do a lot of energy work on myself, using sacred geometry so that I can transform the areas of life that aren't working. I do journaling on my limiting beliefs. I do journaling on visioning my future. I go on long walks in nature. That's one of my rituals when it's not below zero. Thank goodness it's getting warmer. I can do that more and more often. I put my bare feet in the grass to have gratitude for Mother Nature, Mother Gaia. I do dry brushing before I get in the shower to activate my lymphatic system and get rid of my dry skin cells. That one thing takes less than 1 minute before I take a shower. And I am telling you, it tells my body how much I love myself. It is so cool. I'm just present to love as I do it. I have a special oil I put on my body after my shower. That's rose oil. Rose heightens your vibration, raises you to one of the highest vibrations. And that's a way that I tell myself I love myself. I drink great water. I drink hydrogenated water. Hydrogenated water. I drink filtered water. I drink good water. I notice when I'm in a negative state of mind and I transform it as fast as I can. So I do things like EFT tapping or breathing. I light Palo Santo. I do lots of spiritual energy type things to tell myself that I love myself. I take pride in how I look. So I do my makeup and my hair every day. That's really important to me. I get dressed every day. I don't, whether or not I have a meeting or I see people, I look nice because that is a way that I reflect back to myself. Hey, I care about you. You look great today. Thank you for loving me. I get my nails done. Sometimes I get my nails done because I have to, because they don't look good. And sometimes I do it as a way to tell myself I love myself. So it's all in the context that you bring to what you're doing. Putting on makeup. Maybe you put on makeup every day, but you're not putting it on from like a self-love place. You're putting it on because you have to. So it's all shifting the context. Oh my gosh, I do so many other things. What else do I do? Oh, I have an infrared sauna that I lay in, and that tells my body I love myself. I drink tea. So I have an evening ritual of drinking some ashwagandha tea and an evening elixir, which really tells my body, okay, I love you. It's time to rest. I listen to binaural beats. So I do things to nurture myself, but I check in every day. It's different. What I need today might be a nap for 20 minutes. What I need today might be a salt bath. I may need to just like nurture myself with a salt bath and some candles. I hope this is sparking some ideas within you, how you can do it. But a non-negotiable for me is every single day I do look in the mirror, look in the whites of my eyes and tell myself, I love you. And that is so important to me. And it gives me back so much in return. And let me just tell you, you can't do that unless it's authentic. Because the minute that you do, it's like, oh, okay, that was interesting. No, actually love yourself. I tell my body I love it every day. So look to see what can you do today to nurture and have yourself thrive by participating in the big self-care. And I would love to hear, I know I didn't cover even half of what you could do to do self-care. And it could be eating amazing or like concentrating while you're eating. Sometimes self-care looks like having a bite of chocolate, dark chocolate. Like that makes me feel like I just took care of myself in a really great way, or a nice glass of wine after a long week. Whatever it is, I invite you to, you can make a list. And then you could reference that list while you're getting in the practice. You could look at, and don't do things because they're the right thing to do or someone else told you to do it, because that would be the opposite of what self-care actually is. I want you to check in with yourself and say, what do you need today? What would be beneficial for you to thrive today? And do that one thing. Some of these things take mere minutes. So you can't use time as an excuse. Some of them you can indulge a little longer on days where you have more time, but it's essential to thrive, to keep your vibration high and to do self-care and check in with yourself. And if you want other ideas on how to create a high vibe state day in and day out, check out my mindset course, 10 minutes a day, every day for 10 days. It will change your life. And then you'll have it to reference for the rest of your life. But that's one way. And I reference some of those things, like breathing and EFT tapping in this podcast. But those are some things that you can do to change your life. And that's what I want for you is I want you to thrive. I want you to live the best life possible, to love yourself and listen to yourself, because then you will get to the core of anything that is happening that you're not wanting and that you want to change. This is your access. And this is your access to your dreams coming true. And again, to you being the best you. So I hope this was valuable. Check out the information on my mindset course below. Let me know what you like to do for your self-care routine. And I want you to know I truly love you and honor our partnership. And I appreciate you coming back here week after week for these short tips on living an extraordinary life. And if you enjoy this podcast, if you could help us continue to grow, share with your friends, give us a 5-star, give us some 5-star love and write a review and subscribe. So thank you so much for your partnership. I will talk to you next week. See you later.